What's going on, everybody? I literally just put a bingo video out, BNGO, but I wanted to talk about Cleanspark. We just got our mining update like 10 minutes ago, and I wanted to talk about it. And I'm also going to bring up one potential negative that I do see coming up. Now, if you like my Cleanspark videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I put daily videos out. And let's look at their Bitcoin mining update. I think you're going to be impressed. And I will leave you guys the link down below in the description, but you can easily find it on Facebook or just go to their investor relations tab. And first off, we're going to read an excerpt here from Zach Bradford, and that's the CEO of Cleanspark. We experienced impressive growth this month, increasing our hash rate by 21% in a single month. Our success is the direct result of our extraordinary teams who are working to ensure Cleanspark maintains its coveted position in the top 5 publicly traded mining companies in North America. In fact, by many measures, including monthly production of Bitcoin, we are firmly in the top 3, and we intend to stay there as we build our way out of current market conditions. And then Gary, the CFO, goes on to say our Bitcoin balance has increased by 13% month over month, making it one of the largest monthly increases in our hodling since we started releasing monthly mining updates. While we continue our strategy of deploying Bitcoin to fund our growth and operations, the fact that our Bitcoin treasury is increasing is a testament to our growth strategy. The growth in our hodl balance is a direct reflection of our free cash flow resulting from our recent acquisitions, low operating costs, and minimal debt service. And getting into their actual numbers, and I'm going to go into one potential negative that I do see coming up along the horizon. Bitcoin mined in September, 448, up 13%. That's fantastic. Year to date, Bitcoin mined 3,000. They finally cracked 3,000 Bitcoin. Now their total Bitcoins that they're holding is 594 right now. And what they converted for operations and growth was 380, which is 2% less than the last month. That is good news to see, although not an extreme difference. But you'll notice that their holdings did increase dramatically. They could have converted more if they wanted to, but they decided against it. And they have a currently deployed fleet of 42,000 Bitcoin miners with a hash rate of 4.16 exahash, up 21% from August, up 21% from a month ago, and 300% from a year ago. They have 3 times their Bitcoin production from a year ago. And this is where things, to me, start getting a little ugly. Sales of Bitcoin equated to proceeds of approximately 7.5 million. But here's something wonderful, and this is their daily Bitcoin. They reached a high of 16.7, almost 17 Bitcoin mined per day. I do expect in the coming months they will crack that 17 and hold above it. But there are definitely a ton of great things here in their Bitcoin mining update, but I did want to go into one negative, and this is how much money they basically got out of what they sold. Now, of course, they are trying to hold as much as they can, which in my eyes at this current time is a good idea in my opinion, as long as they're able to continue to survive, as long as they're able to continue to pay off their debt, not dilute us shareholders, and not acquire even more debt. And where things potentially get ugly is in their next earnings. And to give you guys some context, their last quarter, they did drop for the first time in revenue. And you'll see that the previous quarter before that, they pretty much came in flat. So once Bitcoin started dramatically dropping from around 40,000, now we're in the 20s, it started really dropping, and this definitely affected their revenue. So while they were mining more Bitcoin per day, while their exahash was continuing to increase, it wasn't increasing at enough of a fast rate to make up for Bitcoin's price drop. And this is why we've seen this huge drop in revenue. Now, I do expect our next quarter, we are going to come in under this 31 million for this last quarter, and Wall Street's going to look at that very negatively in my eyes. Although we know that they are mining more and more Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin inevitably does hit its next bull cycle, when Bitcoin does come towards its next halving and work its way to new highs, you better believe that Cleanspark's revenues are going to dramatically increase. They're going to get the best revenue they've ever seen. They're going to easily beat this 41 million in revenue once Bitcoin gets back into its bull cycle. We are definitely far from there, and I do expect another bad quarter. And just think about it, okay? They just reported that they got $7 million for that month. Last month was right around the same, and then next month we're going to see where that's at. But if you times that 7, 7.5, even 8, if you gave them 8, times that by 3, you're literally sitting at about 24 million in revenue. Now, as we know, they are kind of ending their microgrid side of things, and I think it's going to be a long shot to see them beat this 31 million in revenue. But you do have to remember that they aren't selling all of the Bitcoin they're mining. They are able to hold more lately. And in my eyes, that is a good thing because Bitcoin's price inevitably, in my opinion, will rise. And in my opinion, one thing you guys are really going to want to watch is the SPY, the overall market. If the market does keep tanking, you want to see if Bitcoin follows it. It has to an extent, but it is funny because the market recently hit a new low. We broke under 360. It's likely that we're going to come back down. We are widening. We're having a little pop, the last couple of days, but I do see us coming back down to this 350 area, breaking back under 360, and it's going to be important to see what Bitcoin does. Does Bitcoin come back to its 17,000 area? You know, we've got this SPY hitting recent lows. However, Bitcoin isn't anywhere near that 17,000. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to get there if it does start taking with the market. Definitely likely that Cleanspark is going to continue to have bad quarters moving forwards. And of course, with the Fed continuing to raise rates, you know, it really depends on just how far the market goes down. But we do know that the next halving is coming up. And, you know, surprisingly, Bitcoin has been holding relatively strong from about $18,000 to $21,000. And as many of you know, we are right at our previous peak. And typically, every cycle, Bitcoin comes back to its previous peak, consolidates there, and then goes on its next leg upwards. Is that what it's going to do again? History suggests that's the case, and that will happen again. Bitcoin has, in my eyes, been holding very strong, and as it continues to hold, and as we approach the next halving in 2024, I think it's less and less likely that we're going to get to these insane numbers that people were calling for. 10,000, 15,000, I think is definitely still possible, but 10,000 I think is getting less and less likely. But it's definitely going to be important, you know, that you watch the overall market, and of course watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price is going to dictate where Cleanspark goes in the short term. I do think in the long term, Cleanspark is just continuing to impress, and I couldn't ask for a better mining update. I think this was absolutely amazing. The only negative to me is how much money they're pulling out is going to be the next couple quarters. We're going to probably see some iffy quarters still, and that's just what I expect. But let me know how you guys feel. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think we're going to have the best quarter we've ever seen soon? I do think we're at least 3 to 4 quarters away from a new record-breaking quarter, and we're likely to see a few iffy quarters until then. But let me know if you think I'm wrong down below in the comments. How do you feel about their Bitcoin mining update? Thanks as always, guys, and take it easy.